This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Right. So yesterday we have discussed about some basic things we need to learn in terms of uh, catching up the integration framework, right? So what are the basic things before we actually get into the practical way to connect the two different systems, the how to connect two different system. So there are some prerequisite to write a better integration web services. Okay, so discussed about there are two ways the data can be exchanged. There are two format the data can be exchanged: a JSON and XML format. Okay, JSON and XML format. There are two formats data can be exchanged. Okay, so what are we going to see today? What is JSON format? How the data can be transferred between two different systems in terms of JSON format. So what is the core purpose of learning this JSON format? We know like a system can behave as a consumer or service provider, right? A system can behave either as a consumer or service provider. So if Salesforce is going to send a data to the external system, okay, and in order to send data in JSON format, so there are two type of data format we follow to communicate to other system. Okay, so an example, when Salesforce is sending a data to the external system, then Salesforce should be able to, okay, within Salesforce we should be able to build the JSON string. So JSON is a kind of a string. A JSON is a kind of a data in the form of string only we are going to build. Okay, and how we are going to build your JSON? Okay, so within your Apex, we are going to learn. Okay, within your Apex, you are going to learn how to build the JSON string. Similarly, when external system is send data to you, when external system is send data to you, they send data in JSON format. Then within your Apex, you should be able to convert the JSON to Apex. Okay, so the knowing about the JSON format, how to build the JSON string, how to how to extract the Apex, how to extract the data from the JSON. So that's the objective of the topic, right? So you need to understand the basics of the JSON classes, inbuilt classes, methods, using which you are going to build the string, using which you are going to extract the data from the JSON string when you receive any data from the external system. Okay, so that's what you're going to see today. When you say JSON string, so what is JSON? JSON is, okay, it's an abbreviation of JavaScript object notation. JSON is nothing but it's an abbreviation of JavaScript object notation. Okay, and and it is it is nothing but a format of exchange the data. Exchange the data across the network. Am I right? It's a format of exchanging the data across the network, and this is a okay. This is syntax. JSON is kind of syntax we are going to follow to store the data and exchange the data between the two different systems. Right? When two different systems are communicating between each other, I can share the data in terms of JSON format. Right? In terms of JSON format, and how the JSON string you can build, how you can build the JSON string. The JSON string is always starts with a braces and ends with okay, starts with the open braces and ends with the close braces. This is how the string will be built. Okay, and JSON, it is a name value pair like your map. Okay, like your map. How you build your map? You have a key, you have value, right? The map will have a key and value. Similarly, your JSON is going to have a name value. JSON is going to build with the name value in this format. So simple syntax of JSON string is going to be like this. The name, okay, within a braces, the name will be within this double quotes, always going to be in the form of string, and the value at the right side will be within this double quotes. If it is a string value, okay, if it is a string value, if it is a number, then you will not have a double quotes like this. Right? This is a one JSON string. Like this. So if it is a string, it's going to be in double quotes. If it is a number, it's going to be without any double quotes. Okay, and we can also have a boolean variable. Even boolean also will be without the string will be. I mean the JSON will be without value will be without any single quotes. So we'll see that what are the different for type of data you can convey in the JSON string. So this is a very simplest example of your JSON string. So JSON is an abbreviation of JavaScript object notation. So it's a language. It's a language used to exchange data, right? It's a language used to uh, store, okay, used to build the string. You can say is used to build the string of data to be exchanged to other system, right? And the syntax always it starts with the open braces and ends with close braces, and it's a kind of name value pair. We'll follow this. So these are some of uh, the key points to know about the JSON. And it's always it's going to have a name value pair. Okay, for example, if it's a string, it's going to have the name is always going to be within the double quotes. The value depends upon the data type. The value will be stored displayed in a built in within the double quotes or without any double quotes. We'll follow this, right? And okay, and right, and it's a self-describing. It means it's a we'd say lightweight data interchange format. It means it's not going to we are not going to build with you are going to build in very simple text format. That's going to be your that's going to be your JSON format, right? The JSON format is most preferred format compared to your XML, right? People know about XML, right? When you take XML data starts with open tag and ends with close tag. Your Visual Force, right? Visual Force is in the form of it's in the form of XML only. Your HTML, it is a form of XML. So every tag-based language will have open tag and close tag. Am I right? We'll have open tag and close tag. Say for example, the similar data I'm going to build with the help of XML. The similar data, whatever you build here with the help of JSON, I'm going to build using XML. So how the XML data you're going to have, the same thing you're going to have in your XML. The JSON one, whatever you build above, if you're going to build using in XML, you're going to have a open tag, close tag. So this format, okay. So when you compare the number of characters you see, the overheads, it means apart from the data, the overheads, okay, in addition to data, we are using the other characters takes more space when you build the XML string. Apart from the data, the characters, okay, which are not the character, which are not going to be a part of your data, it takes more space in building the XML string. So when you're building a large volume of data, when you build a large volume of characters, a content, then XML takes more space compared to your JSON string. And JSON is more readable format, user-friendly readable format. XML comparatively, XML is a bit complex type of data format, right? So the reason the JSON is the most preferable format while transferring the data. But of course, XML is also takes a place sometimes to transfer the data. In the case of SOAP-based web service, XML takes a major role. Okay, so you can see compare the examples here. Using JSON string, they're trying to build, a string. Uh, okay, build first name, last name. There are three types of records they are building here. The same, okay, the same string. If you build with the help of XML string, it takes more overheads, right? So XML, unlike your XML, the JSON or or JSON doesn't use end tag or close tag, right? And it's very shorter and it's very quicker to read and write. And JSON, you can also use arrays. Okay, we are going to see how to build the JSON string with arrays and without arrays. So that's the objective of the session. Right, right. So this is just one value we have seen. How to build? Okay, suppose I like to send no an employee a company details. I like to build a JSON string, okay, with the company details. So name of the company, am I right? The name of the company, the industry of the company, so location of the company. So we are separating the values with comma, right? We are separating the values with a comma. If it is a one value, that's how it's going to be. If it's more than one values, then it's always go open with the flower brace, open braces and close by close braces. Now we are going to pass the annual revenue. So how can I do that? Like this. So without any double quotes, we'll follow this. So okay, your numbers, any number, right, any a number values, and boolean, and sometimes you'll also pass null as well. And null, okay, will not, do not record, do not record double quotes. Okay, so you follow this. Okay, so your number doesn't require double quotes, your boolean doesn't require double quotes. Okay, sometimes um, you'll also uh, okay, without any value, then I can also use a keyword null. So which doesn't require null, you know, right? It's absence of value. It doesn't require any double quotes. How will you build this? Like this. Something like this. Yes, phone is also string in your, yes, phone has the special characters, right? The phone has a special characters. Yes, it's going to be string only. Okay, first name, last name, email. Okay, and an account ID, right? To represent your Salesforce contact. I'm just trying to represent uh, the data Salesforce contact. Sorry, right? So comma separated, we have to give. So only your numbers, boolean, and other things will not have a single double quotes. Okay. What about IDs? ID is always going to be a, okay, ID is always going to be a string only, right? Your ID is alphanumeric value. You take any ID, It's going to be an alphanumeric value. Okay, so we have to give with the single double quotes, something like this. Okay, let's move on to the different an example. Okay, let's move on to different example. I have a class, right? I have a class here. I have some lead data. So what I'm having now, I have three variables in my class. I have three variables, okay? Serial number, a flag variable, and a variable of object lead type, right? So I'm just trying to build a string with some value for this format, right? The JSON format we are trying to map with an Apex class. That's what at the end we are going to learn. Okay, the objective of this, the steps, what you're trying to achieve here is we're trying to learn the JSON format. Then, right? Then we are going to see how we can, uh, you know, build map a JSON string with your Apex class. How you can map your JSON string with Apex class, right? So that's what we're trying to go. That's such type of example. We're trying to learn that such type of example so that you'll slowly, get into that format. Okay, so I have a class here. So I'm trying to build the string with the Apex class format. And this is going to be a lead record, right? Listen here, if you build the lead record individually, okay, if you build the lead record individually, so what you will do, okay, what you will do, when you build the object record, it's going to be in this format. The object name, okay, see, uh, JSON in object data in JSON format, right? How it's going to be, listen here, um, object name colon, object name colon. Okay, so basically JSON string is always takes a name value pair, right? JSON string always takes a name value pair. So when you build the object data in JSON string, object name, within here we're going to have the value, right? Within here you're going to have the value. It means uh, your object uh, record, the record value you're going to have here. So the entire thing is going to be open and close braces. Am I right? Okay. So how it is going to be, right? The next level I'm talking about, object name colon. So what is the object record actually? Object record is nothing but it's going to have a field. The record is going to have a field and a value, field value with comma separated, right? So this again going to be another string. So how I'm going to build here, see here, open, close braces, field name colon value comma again, right? If it is a field name, field 1, field 2 colon value. If you follow this, again it's going to be a, so that's how it's continued. Okay, the value will be in a quotes or without a quotes, depends upon the type of data, right? So this is a syntax. This is a syntax of how the object data is going to looking like. Okay, right? So let's move the syntax here, next here, so that you will be able to refer here. Right now we build the string here. So we are going to build the string. Listen here. So this is going to be just a serial number and flag, and next thing is going to be your lead data. Am I right? The next thing is going to be your lead data. So lead. Okay, right. So here we have variable name, right? We have variable name. So I given here as object name in case if you are going to build an object record individually. So now I'm going to have the variable name LD because you already given the name for this variable type, right? The variable type, serial number, value, flag, value, LD, value. Value is going to be a lead record. Value is going to be a lead record. Am I right? Okay, so like this. Basically, I think the single quotes will not appear. Let's see this in when we not do the system debug, then we correct that. LD, last name, what are the lead fields here? Like this. Okay, so this is going to be a big string. Right, let's see, I have two classes. Okay, we are just trying to, I'm just trying to create a wrapper class. People know, all of you know about the wrapper class, right? Wrapper class is a kind of wrapper class. Okay. Who is that? Please put mute.
Sir Ajay here.
Hello.
Sir Ajay here.
Ajay, tell me.
Can you scroll up once? Yeah, in the 43rd line, that's object name or object record.
Object name. This is object, right? Lead object.
Okay, I
Hmm?
got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. the class has four variables: string, okay, string, integer, and a variable of another class type. Right. So let's try to build the string. We know like okay, we already built the string for lead data. So where it has three variables. One is object type. So the field value and the value. If the value is a object record, then comma separated, we give the field value in that format. So the same thing we are going to follow here. The similar thing we are going to follow here, right? So listen here. So the string we are going to build. The string always go with the open and close braces. Am I right? The string always open, close braces. So within which, okay, we have the first variable name. We have the first variable name value pair. So name always going to be in a, all right. Okay, comma, age, comma. Now the address. What is the value? Address, right? Comma. Okay, what next? What next is going to be a value, right? So the value like this. So the value is going to be a state, city, zip code. So within braces, state. And follow this. Comma, and I have a right. I have one more variable acc. Right. So the list here it should be single column, right? Column. Zip code can be a number. Yes. Sometimes I was assuming it was okay. In US we follow hyphen, special characters, right? So that's a format. If it is going to be uh, a number, you keep it number. If it is string, right? I declare as a string. So it's all depends upon how you declare the variable. The same format you have to pass the data. That's it. Okay, there is no rule. The rule is basically what type of data you declared. The same type of okay, the same thing you are going to follow here. Right, like this. Right? Able to build the string now. Let's take an example to understand how to store an array. Okay, so basically the data, what type of data you can build in the JSON string. The JSON is a kind of string, but we pass a different types of data: a string, numbers, okay, numbers, numerical values, booleans, null value, okay, null value, okay, and individual records or an array of records. The JSON can also use to build an array of records. So we'll try to understand how to build array of data. So array of data in JSON. Okay, if you see here, I have a cities. Okay, I have city values. I have different city values. Right, like this. So how we are going to build the city values? Okay, a name, the name field, colon, the value. Right, what is missing here? What is missing here? It should be in double quotes, and the entire thing should be inside the braces. Inside the braces, right? Sorry, inside the braces. And here, you know, like array always takes the square bracket, right? The array takes a value in terms of square bracket. If you see the here, this is a single value, so we'll use double quotes to refer the string. We use without double quotes to refer the integers, right? Number values. Similarly, if it is going to be an array of state, array of city, right? A list of companies, list of industries, then you're going to have a open and close bracket. The name takes always the same format. The name of the object. You say it's an object, okay? The JSON, entire thing is going to be an object. It's an object notation. Okay, so employee is a kind of object. Okay, employee is a kind of object. So the object name is going to be in single quotes. It means the name, and the value is going to be in the square bracket. That's how you're going to build your array of data in string. Right, now you can guess it, right? How it's going to be double quotes and a comma separated. Right, we'll follow this. Right, now I'm going to store the array of marks. Okay, so some marks, right, some subject marks, something like this. There are 5 subject. The marks for the 5 subject, I'm going to store it in here in the form of a JSON string. Open and close bracket, and this is a number, right? So we don't use like this. We'll go do this. Okay, so this is a primitive type, right? It's I mean, the data is in the string, and okay, whatever seen is a primitive type, and we have just moved to array type. An array is going to have a, we build the array with the string and numbers. Now let's try to understand how the array of S object record you will build in the JSON string. Okay, why this knowledge is required? Why this knowledge, the format is required to understand, so that when you transfer the data, okay, when you are transferring the list of okay, now one individual data, you will build like this. Okay, when you transfer the data in terms of the data like this, okay, which has an integer and other primitive type along with the subject type, then how to build the string, right? You have data in your apex, you have data in your object, but you need to build the string accordingly, so that we can build the string and transfer the data to the external system the way the external system is no need the data. So basically, when you build a string, you will have that information. What is the data format the external system is expecting the information? How the right external system is expecting the list of invoice numbers, list of marks. The external system is required a list of array of city values, okay, in the JSON format. Then you need to build in this format. Okay, if the external system is okay is needed, a data is required, the data array of a subject record. Okay, when you say a subject record, it's Salesforce object, right? It can be account, a contact, etc. It can be any, even custom object, right? You also get a data in this format as well, right? Then you should be able to understand the how the data is, what is it, you should be able to read the JSON string, right? That's what you're trying to understand in these examples. Okay, so array of s object record. Suppose I'm going to build array of accounts. Okay, array of accounts. So basically, open and close. Always your JSON start with open and right, close braces, right? When you say right, for example, the array name is going to be accounts. Accounts. Okay, there's the name of the array, right? Then how the array is array of values you are going to refer, open square bracket and close by a square bracket. So within these you are going to build your array records, right? So how the one individual account record you build, one individual account record, how will you build? Everything is going to have a in this format, right? Name, comma, right? Company name, right? And the industry. So this is one value, right? So what is the next value? Comma separated. So how many records I have in this example? 3 records. Right? Right, like this. So there are 3 array of account records. So array name, colon, open square bracket, close square bracket, and account records with a comma separated. So array of S object record. You will follow this?
Sir, your accounts is the predefined variable or you just kept the accounts?
No, no, I just kept as account. The name I given. Okay, just an example you are seeing. Practically, when you see the demos, you should able to understand the format, right? That's what we are covering now. Okay, it's a name, user-defined name. It's not a predefined name, right? It's a user-defined name, marks. There's no predefined name. If you have array in your Apex, right? If you have array of account records, right? So people should be able to visualize the things. For example, I have account, the account, right? I name it as ACCS. Okay, new account, open close bracket. So a list of account records here, right? Remember the format, all of you. I have a list of account records here, array of account records here. Then my array name is going to be ACCS. Okay, that's the assumption you have to make here. Okay, right now I'm not giving this source array. We are directly trying to understand how the array of data in the JSON format looks like. That's what you're trying to learn here. Okay, we are not going from the scratch, build the array, then from the array you are going to build the JSON string. We are trying to understand how the JSON string format looks like. Got me? So this is a user defined name. Of course, these are all predefined field values, right? If you are going to have the okay, these are predefined field values. If you are going to have the custom field name, it's going to be double underscore C. We'll follow this. So just take these as examples to understand the how the individual record, array of records, array of values will be will be built in the JSON string. That's the objective of this exercise. Okay, right. Later we'll get into the demo. We'll get a more clear picture when you build the string in your Apex class, when you see the actual practical demos. Got me, all of you? Put a mute, please. There is a typo after the name. Yes, you're right. Exactly. Oh, everywhere it should be. Right. Thanks for pointing out. Yes. Name, value. Yes. Is it right now? Okay. So try to do this later. Right. So we next thing what you're going to see, how to convert the object record, okay, the Salesforce object record into JSON format. Okay, that's this is what you're going to see now. Okay, from the object data, suppose I have account record. I have account record in my hand like this. I have an account record. Right. So how to convert the object? Okay. When you say object, see, I can also store like this, right? Everything is an object. Your integer. So I is an object. Okay, I is a generic type. You say account. A is an object. I is an object, right? You say string is an object. So now we are going to see how to convert an object into a JSON string. So each of them is called a object, right? So we are going to see how to convert converting the object into a JSON string. Okay, and other thing also, the reverse process, convert the JSON string into an object format. So one is from the object, how to convert an object into string. That object can be a integer or a subject record or any type of data. In general, we refer it as object. So how to build the string with the help of predefined methods. We have seen the format manually, right? We have seen the format, how the JSON string looks like. That's what we have seen, right? We are not going to build this. If you know the format, how the JSON string is going to be, then we are going to make this automate by using different methods. Okay, there is a class provided by Salesforce, an inbuilt class called JSON class, which is going to provide a methods to build the JSON string. Okay, that provides a list of methods to build the JSON string. Right, so that methods, okay, in general, there are methods as two types. One is serialize and another is deserialize. The methods basically has two types of category. The methods are divided into two types of category. All methods are static methods. It means what? The methods can be referred with the help of class name. JSON is a class name. JSON dot deserialize. JSON dot serialize. That's how you refer the static method, right? So now we are going to see how to convert a generic object into JSON string and converting the other way, right? Because you need to understand the two ways, right? Building the string, and from the string you should be able to read the data. Okay, that's what we are going to cover. These two things you need to understand. So we have just gone through how the JSON string looks like. Now we are going to see how to build this string automatically, right? This such type of string from the generic object. It can be a object type or any primitive type, right? So the process of converting the object into JSON string, this called serialization. How do you call the process? The serialization, right? Serialize, okay, serialize the object. So the process called serialization. Okay, so how this you call it as deserialize. So the process of converting the object into JSON string is termed as serialize, and the process of converting the JSON string into object format is called deserialize. So how do you perform serialize and deserialize? With the help of inbuilt JSON methods. That's what you're going to see now. Will you follow this? Okay, so a JSON class. So it's a predefined class, belongs to a namespace, a library, right? System, right? Is there any class that belongs to namespace system? We already know, right? We have classes like system.debug, right? System.debug, system.asset equal, all belongs to this. I'm sorry, that's a class name, right? This is a namespace. Sorry, the namespace. If you click on the namespace, you'll come to know what are the classes the namespace belongs to, right? So these are the classes. Okay, your all primitive type belongs to namespace system only. It's a library. Namespace is nothing but the library, just to have information about the namespace. Okay, right. So it's a predefined class, belongs to namespace system. Okay, belongs to namespace system, and it has two category of methods. Okay, so it has a methods to serialize and deserialize the string. Deserialize the data in JSON format, right? That's what you are going to learn here. Okay, so and this contains these methods, right? But there are different other classes also available in the system namespace. Okay, so there are different types of classes also available in the system namespace. So basically, system namespace has methods to serialize and deserialize the data. with the help of below classes. Okay, one of the classes is JSON. That's what I'm going to discuss now. One of the classes is JSON. Similarly, okay, the system has different classes written here in namespace. So we have JSON, JSON parser, right? JSON parser, JSON generator. So these are three important classes. Okay, so JSON class itself, JSON generator, right? You'll learn down the line. So what are the importance of these classes? How it helps to build the JSON string. So what are the classes you see? JSON parser, right? So among these classes now available in this library, your namespace nothing but a library, right? So we have a JSON class. So JSON class has a methods to deserialize and deserialize the data. Okay, so what are the methods? There are some important methods, right? These are the list of methods. Okay, right? We'll go one by one, learn one by one the methods. Serialize method, the method called serialize. You'll pass any type of object. Okay, I say object. It can be a primitive. It can be a right. It can be a S object type. Right. So in general, we pass object as an argument to this method. What is it method actually? It's a static method. Right. All these are a static method. So it has static method to serialize and deserialize the data. So you know, like, what is the purpose of this method? Serialize. Okay, when you pass any value to this as an any object value, integer or any account variable, then what is going to return? It's going to return a data in JSON format. That's it. Okay, because it's serialized, converting the object in the JSON string. What you are going to get in this method? You're going to get a string. The string is going to be in the form of JSON format. You follow this? Okay, serialize. Right. Let's list out some methods. Serialize pretty. So we are going to pass the object only here. So the same object, it's going to return in a different format. That's again going to be a string only, but that's going to be in different format. That format is called a pretty format. We'll see now what type of difference we'll have. Okay, both the methods going to return the JSON string only when you pass object, but there will be a difference, you know, in the form of in the string format that we are going to see later. Okay, similarly, right, and we pass object as a one argument. So this method is going to two arguments. Okay, it's going to have a object as a first argument, and the second argument is going to have a object as. Okay, let's not try to discuss more about this method here. I just try to give a list of methods. Okay, a list of methods I'm trying to give here, but later we'll see the demo, then you'll understand you know how the method is going to work. Right, we have seen the serialize part. So next thing is deserialize, the other way, converting a JSON string into object. Okay, so you guess here we are going to have a we are going to have an argument as a JSON string, because it's going to deserialize. Am I right? It's going to convert your JSON string back to object. Okay, right, JSON string. And what is the type of object you need? What is the type of object you need? Okay, when I pass a string, what is the object type you like to get out of this method? That's going to be second argument. The apex type you are going to mention here. It means what? Say for example, I just give an example here, just a quick example. Suppose I'm going to convert, okay, this is a JSON string I got, number 10 integer. So what is this actually? It, apex type is going to be integer, right? So we are going to convert this string, JSON string, back to integer type. So that's what this second for the two arguments on JSON string. Another is a right, and again here deserialize untyped. Okay, there is a method. These are untyped. And the next thing is create. Okay, generator. We have a create generator, and we have a create parser. Right, what is create parser? What is methods and all? Anyway, you're going to learn. Right. Can I have a quick 5 minutes break? We'll resume the session, right?
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's have a look into the methods. Okay, let's start with serialize method. Right. The purpose of the method to convert any object that is given as a string, given as an argument to this method, is going to be converted into JSON format. Okay, so the method converts so given object in the form of JSON string. Okay, right. Right, some number. So I need this to be in the form of JSON string. JSON class name. Okay. Serialize, right? Because I have a I'm going to pass a number. So what is going to return basically is going to return the string only. It's going to return string. Okay, that string is going to be in the JSON format. Just in the form of string, it's going to return just a one value. So we got a it's a primitive type, right? So primitive type doesn't have any object name, so just return the value. like this. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So this is an example of primitive. A subject. I have account, right? Name. Right. How are we going to convert? Because this is a generic object, right? Argument is generic object. It can be any type. It can be any type. So we are just going to A. All right. We'll follow this. An account record. We pass here and then try to convert that as a string. Yes. So this output we got. Okay, we got the type account, the name, right? So you will understand this format again. We'll discuss about some of the things when you see the actual the demo. Build this string. So anyway, it's basically the string is built. Okay, you convert the an account record into string. Okay, some class I have. And the name of the class is employee class. I have a class here. Right now we are going to right for simplicity. I just go with the we have to just store the date, right? That's it. np dot should be equal to okay, right like this, and then how we are going to build the convert this value into string, right? So this is the object, right? Now this is the object. Earlier we used a account variable. Now we are going to convert this value into object. So JSON dot serialize object, and we are going to get a string. You follow this? The string, right? This is output you got. So we're able to convert an object into a string. Listen here. Let's move on to uh, array of employees. Okay, so this is one instance. Okay, this is one instance. Suppose I have multiple instances. So this is one instance. Okay, this is one instance. I have one more instance, for example. Right? So I have one more instance. Why you are saying this? To understand, right? To understand uh, how to build the array of employees. Okay, there are three instances. So what you're going to do to build in the form of array? First, you have to build the array. First, you have to build the array. Right? I hope all of you know about how to build the array, right? How do you initialize the array? E1, E2, E3. These are all your array concept, right? Array collections, and then we're going to use serialize. Serialize. What do you have to pass here? Employees. So again, this is object of array type. Okay, when you convert a string, a JSON, is, an object into string. So this a single dimensional, right? A single dimensional. It's a multi-dimensional. It's a collection of similar elements. Array. So employees. So the whole thing is going to be converted into string. The method is always going to return string. Okay. So this is what you got. right? People have noticed here. I just didn't copy the one more character there. It's a square bracket, right? Okay, square bracket. Array started like this. All right. So what we have learned here? Open and close the bracket. Open and close bracket, and you right. So we got the purpose of the serialized method, right? Convert an object into string. An object into string. Okay. Right. We'll have a quick look into a serialized pretty. The serialized pretty, there is no much difference. Only the way it return the string, the format is going to be different. That's it. The format is going to be different. Okay. Listen here. We are. I'm just trying to repeat the same example. The same example with the help of serialize pretty method, right? So this example we are done with serialize. This is how you got the output. Okay, so this is uh, output from serialize method. We got this output from serialize method. Let's display an output from deserialize method. Okay, so string m string 2 deserialize uh, emp. Okay, we are talking about the method with one argument now, right? Deserialize. Oh, sorry. We are talking about serialize pretty only, right? Serialize pretty. We are going to, right? We are discussing about this, not deserialize. Sorry. Okay. So now we're going to see what is the difference between these two output. Okay, serialize pretty, serialize non-pretty. Got me? What I'm trying to do here? We build the string. Okay, we are going with the old method, the first method, whatever seen, and serialize pretty. What is the difference? Right? You got it? The output is going to be your serialized output is going to be in the form of okay, in the form of a continuous sequential string with comma separated. Okay, so what happens here? It's in the form of more readable printable format. Okay, the way you can uh, okay print your pretty print format. Okay, the pretty, that's it looks better. It looks better than your regular serialized method. The value, whatever the value written by the serialized method, is a form of continuous string, and it's a better readable format. So that's what the pretty return the value. So this is output from serialize and output from serialize pretty. Okay, no other functional difference here. No other functional difference here. The way it prints the output is different. That's it. So serialize pretty. Okay, it again does the same. It again does the same. It converts a given object in the form of JSON string. Right. So that's the use of this method. It's a static method, right? This one. Yes, the way it print output is different. That's all. No other difference. Okay, let's move on to DC. Let's move on to serialize object. The third one, uh, suppress the null value. Okay, listen here. There is no much difference between these methods. Okay, there's not much difference between these methods, but knowing these will help you to implement these in some cases where you have null values. You need to suppress the null values. The serialize object comma suppress object null values. Okay, this is what we are going to see now. So basically, suppress a null value when serialize your Apex objects, right? Serialize the objects into JSON string. Okay, suppress the null values. So basically, um, it is a second argument which is going to accept the Boolean value. You can see here, it is a Boolean value, right? So the suppress value is a Boolean type, a true or false. Okay, the method suppresses the null values when serializing the S object into JSON string if okay. So we are specifying here whether you suppress the null value or do not suppress the null value. That's what we are. Okay, you are specifying here when you serialize this string here, default it means what? It won't suppress the null value by default. Okay, right. Let's take this same example to understand this so that you'll have a comparison. Right, this is my method. Okay, so this I just give the only two values here. So I'm going to serialize this. I'm not given the value for city. I haven't given the value for city. I would like to suppress this. Okay, yeah, right. Yes, and JSON dot serialize. What is object? Emp, comma. Okay. I don't give anything. By default, it is false, right? By default, it won't uh, suppress the null values. True. Okay. We know like how it works. That's not a things now. Need to see. I'm just making it a true now. Second parameter is true now. Okay. String. All right. So what are we going to do now? System. We'll see what happens here. These are the output we got when when you give the true here. When you give the true here. If I give the same thing without the parameter true, then you'll find the null values will not be suppressed. So what is the third object here? City, right? The employee object, the employee class contains another variable called city. So city value we haven't given. Okay. So what will happen? You'll find city colon null. So when if you do not want to like to suppress, okay, suppress. I mean, it remove the null value and display only the variables with the value, and the other values will be suppressed here when the true parameter is used. So when you use true parameter, the value will be suppressed. The null value will be suppressed. So you say like whether suppress the value or do not suppress the value by specifying the Boolean variable as a second argument. When you say true, it will suppress. When you don't specify, it's like you are going with false. By default, it is false. We'll follow this. It's clear to all of you? It's clear to all of you? Right. What is a serialized pretty and suppress object null? Everyone has gotten a clarity, right? Understanding on this. What is this actually? Sorry, this one. A serialized pretty is going to print in different format. That's it. A printable format. Okay. The same thing, right? The same method, but it's going to print the output in printable format. That's all. Okay. When serializing, so it's basically a method suppress null values and to JSON string as pretty print format. Okay. If the second argument is true. Am I right now? So just you display the same thing here. Okay, you just try the same example here. We are just going with serialize pretty. So that's it. Okay. The next one is deserialize. Right. What is the use of this method? The other way, ma, this other way, right? It convert the JSON string into, okay, into an Apex object type. So whatever object type you are specifying here as per the as per the Apex type specified. Okay, whatever the Apex type is specified as a second argument, this will convert. Okay, right. In this case, we need to do one more thing here. You see the how deserialize method works for you. Okay, we need to do the casting as well. See here. Okay, see here, we're trying to deserialize a decimal value. What is the type you are going to deserialize? Okay, this is a string. Whatever you are giving in the first argument is going to be a string only. The string needs to be converted into object type. Okay, when you convert that object type, what is the type it's going to return? Whatever the type you are referring here, that is the return type of this method. If you are referring going with string here, the method is going to return string. If you are decimal and decimal, it's going to return. Then how can you store into a target variable? You need to do the typecasting. People follow this? You have to do the typecasting. So it requires the typecasting to store the returned value. Am I right? Okay, so one example you take, you'll find it's easy to compare your method result. Okay, so I take this example. Now I'm going to build a string. I'm going to build a string. So how will you build a string here? How will you have the JSON string here? String. Okay, I'm going to build this string. So how the string is going to be like this. Like this. Am I right now? Let's go with this, a simple example. Right. So this is JSON string. We are going to convert this into a similar type, object type. We're going to convert this into a similar object type. Listen, what you're going to do? JSON dot. What is the method? Deserialize. What is the? We have two arguments, right? What is the first argument? The string that you are going to convert. The second argument is going to be the type of the class Apex type that you are going to convert. So what is the type of the Apex type? What is the type of the Apex type? This one. Dot class. An extension, because this okay, whatever the type you are going to convert, that going to take an extension dot class. See here, if it's going to be primitive type, right? Suppose listen here, no? I have integer. Let's say string. Okay, I have string here. Okay, I have string here. I'm going to convert this into Right, this may JSON string. I'm going to convert this into a string value. Let's check the primitive type first. This is a primitive type, JSON dot deserialize. Okay, what are you going to give here? Name. So what are you going to give here actually? String dot class. So now this is going to return the string, right? Depends upon the type of the apex type you are referring here. How the apex type you are going to refer? The type name dot class. Okay, every primitive type is inbuilt class. Every S object is an inbuilt class. Everything is a class only, right? The class extension you have to refer. Type class type dot class extension. Okay, so we are going to convert this into string. So now I can store it into string. Okay, right, we go with the different ways. For example, roll number, it is a form of string. I would like to convert this into an integer. Now it will make sense to you. Integer. So
Sir, class name should be the string, right, sir? Here, string dot class. String to we can convert to typecasting as an integer.
no. Hold on. No, that's not the way. We are converting into target type. You have to refer here. Okay, we have to refer the target type here.
Roll number should be, I guess, some numeric numbers, huh? On first line. First line.
Exactly. That's what we made a mistake, right? Right. See, this method will make more meaning, more scope, more sense when you use it. Okay, just for a reference, I given this. Okay, take this example. This method give more sense when you are using for object, for object type. Okay, just hold on, no? 1 minute. When I align this, alignment has actually changed. That's the reason. Okay. Right. Right. You will have a better clarity now. See here. This is a string, JSON string. We are converting this string into, okay. I know like the value of the string is name, age, city. I need to convert this into my apex type. Okay. Consider like this is a type of string you get from the external system. This is a string you got from the external system. Now we are going to convert this string to your wrapper class type. Okay. So my objective, each of these value should automatically goes to the respective a member of the class. Name has to go here, age has to go here, city has to go here. So that's the objective of this deserialize method, right? Deserialize the string that you received into apex type. Deserialize the string that you received into apex type. So the string name, okay, the string that you are going to convert into apex type, and what is the type you are going to convert? A target object type. Okay, so now the deserialize is going to return an employee class type, right? Here it was integer, so you make it typecasting integer. Now we are going to have a employee class type. So where I can store this? I can only store into employee type only. Am I right? E1, E1, system dot debug. Am I right? E1. So it's going to return. Okay, it's going to return the values in the your object type. So how the output is going to be in your object type basically? It's going to be in this format, right? Name equal to this format. Age, city, okay. So these are apex type, right? Now this is an apex format. So output is in apex format. Let's see one more example quickly. Okay, so let's build some apex account name. Okay, name. Right, this is how the string is. Now I need to convert this into the account type. So what is the type I'm going to convert this string into account type? So how will you do this? JSON dot deserialize right? So what is the type you have to use here? A class type is account dot class. Okay, right. So in order to store this into an account variable, okay, in order to store this in the account variable, what do you have to do here? We have to typecast. Makes sense to all of you? That needs to be a typecast, right? That should be typecast.
So TCS should be in semi double quotation.
All right. There's other methods we have. Deserialize strict untyped. Okay, right. Untyped. Right. Untyped is basically understand the difference now. See, I just I'm just going to use deserialize untyped now. Okay, I'm just use deserialize untyped. You see the difference? Just change the method. Okay, everything else same. Deserialize deval account dot class. Okay. It's going to return a collection of primitive types. Okay, so the return type is not, you're not defining return type here. Okay, it's going to return in the format of the map. It's going to return in the format of map. So see here, the output here. Okay, it's like a map. 1 minute. Let me compare here. 1 minute. Right. The earlier example, this is what we got. Okay. So earlier example output we got like this. Oh, I already printed this. Okay, fine. So this one. System dot debug, pass the entire string, then output is in this format. Okay, so this is just this is not object type. Okay, here in the deserialize we specify the object type. So accordingly the object type you typecast, and now I got this right. Now I can go with a dot industry, a dot name, a dot industry, a dot okay, a dot name, and a dot annual revenue. That way you can refer the values. But what about in this case? This is not your object record. It's just a map. You can notice here, it is just a map. Okay, it is just a map. What is the return type of the map? The map return type. This always going to be a string, right? We know like JSON string format. JSON string format, the name is always going to be a string. But what about value? The value is okay. See here where the name is always going to be string, whereas the value is a generic type object. It can be a primitive type, right? When you say object, it can be a primitive or reference type. When you say reference, it means it can be object or array. It can be object or array, whatever, right? It can be a object or primitive type. So listen here. So this going to return the value in the map of. So we are not going to have a apex type here. So it was incorrect. Whatever I given here, we are not going to have a apex type for untyped. It means what is untyped means we do not have any specific target type, right? Untyped means when you use this method is used when there is no a specific okay object type existing. Okay, we know like this record we are going to convert into account type, because we know like the format is going to be an account type, and this format is going to be in employee class type. So if you know the format, then you go with the format as second argument with the deserialize method. If you are not sure about the target format object type, then you'll go with deserialize untyped method. The method is not defined, the class type is not defined. Okay, so it's going to return the generic type, a map of a string as a key and object as a value. So generic object type. So how will you do this? Right. How will you do this? So basically, listen here. We are going to return into a map of map of string comma generic type. So convert into respective type. I mean typecasting. Okay. Now from here I can get the each and individual values. Am I right? OPP object map dot key set. I will get all the keys. If I pass keys, I can get the value. So that's going to be a map process, right? That map process you will do. The map process can be done. So that is where deserialize untyped. You will follow this. Everyone is good with this?
Yes, sir.
Get all the fields, right? So object map dot key set. Get all the fields and you get all the uh, field values. Get name of the account, get name. Right, so just pass a key and get the name of the account, get name of the field values you have to pass. That's what you're going to get. So this is going to be where deserialize untyped. It means the target object type, you do not have that information, right? The target object type you do not have. Then we'll go with deserialize untyped. The method deserialize untyped. We'll go to this. Okay, right. I think enough for today. We'll continue with the create generator and parser in the next class. Okay, right.
Sir,
Sorry for
what are
holding
the
a for
standard?
long session today.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, what is the standard times for weekends? Fixed times for this batches, integration batch? Yes, for Saturday and Sunday.
I given you already.
Means yesterday I did not get the mail. That's why I lost the session. And today morning I got the details and joined the session.
Sometimes we'll wind up before 10 a.m. also. So this is the timing. No change in timing. It's going to be a fixed timing you're going to connect. Okay then. Thanks to all of you. See you next week. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank